Hey, my name's Sean Hickey. I'm the drummer and vocalist of Ancient Thrones. What drives me as an artist is a creative flow that I can't really turn off. I sort of just have to make art. Otherwise, I don't know what I would do. I work in art. I make art in this band, and art is like the most important thing in the world to me. The band name Ancient Thrones is a variation of our old band name, which was Visceral Throne. And when we sort of changed the creative direction that band was going in, we didn't want people to totally think that we've gone away. So we wanted to keep it sort of similar. So we went with Ancient Thrones, and that's also one of the lyrics in the album Celestial Lineage on the song Astral Blood by the band Wolves in the Throne Room. Which is a big creative influence on our band. Our new record is called Melancholia. It comes out on September 19th. It's a progressive, blackened, death metal fusion album that just sort of takes all the parts of early 2000 and 2010 sort of death metal that we loved growing up and what we came up on as a band. And we took all the parts of that and we sort of tried to make our own telling of that sort of style of music. So it's very influenced by bands like the Black Dahlia Murder, the Red Chord, the Faceless, all the bands that we loved growing up. It's a concept album about a person that's colorblind and takes mushrooms to sort of see color to fill a void that they feel like they're missing. The album is quite poetic and abstract and psychedelic in kind of a unforeseen way, and it's a pretty interesting introspective experience on what it's like to have a bad mushroom trip. The lyrics on this album, well, obviously it's inspired by a bad mushroom trip, but also it was written during like the COVID pandemic and lockdowns and stuff like that, where it was a very isolating and alienating sort of time to be alone in the world. And it just basically musically and lyrically sort of came together from this really dark place. The lyrics of this album and sort of just the overall aesthetic of this album was also really heavily inspired by experimental film, specifically like Enter the Void by Gaspar Noé and like David Lynch films. I was really inspired at the time too by surrealist artists like Michael Whalen was a big influence on this album, and sort of just seeing the visuals of those paintings and those films and just kind of making my own interpretations of that art. So the story of the album artwork is basically there's a lot of references to sort of the character that we're following in this album, and so I wanted the big giant castle on the front of the cover to sort of just be this big spiky glass translucent sort of figure that represents the body of the character and sort of the changes that he's going through and the dangers that lie beneath the surface of the trip that he's experiencing and all the different changes that are happening to him, and just sort of this magical place that he's being lured into. I've been really big on the new Deaf Heaven record, Lonely People with Power. That album has been like on heavy rotation for me this year. And I'm also really into the Armed record, The Future Is Here and Everything Needs to Be Destroyed. That album's just like balls to the wall crazy the whole way through. It's such a jarring listening experience. And both of those bands are like such a huge influence on me, and they create the art that they want to create, which is, I think, in a metal genre, is the coolest thing you could be doing. The scene in Atlantic Canada is pretty unique and definitely hungry for live music, which is so awesome. We get such a crazy reception at our shows. There's always blood and crowd surfing and mosh pits and people just going and giving all of their energy and themselves into our performance, which I feel very grateful to be a part of. And all the bands are awesome. We love seeing all our friends do well and succeed and go on to play big shows, and it just seems like it's getting bigger and bigger every year, which is just amazing. Our new album Melancholia comes out September 19th. You can listen to it at Bandcamp. You can buy vinyl and merch. You can stream it on Spotify and Apple Music and all the other streaming services that are out there. And we're gonna play some release shows for this album at the end of this year, and then maybe we'll look to play some outside shows in the spring of next year. And we're always writing music. We never stop writing music. We have plans to continue to release more music. You'll just have to stay tuned. Metal to me rules because there are no rules, and that's cool. You can do whatever the hell you want. I can write songs about people tripping on mushrooms and put 260 beats per minute blast beats over it, and somebody that has the ear for this music is gonna find something to appreciate in that. To me, that's so unheard of in other genres. You can't do that. You can't write giant concepts in most other genres and it be like a normal thing. You can't. There's so many things you can't do that you can do with extreme music.